Monster Theatre presents host Mr. Kris Allen, who will attempt to uncover the truth of the unknown. He will explore into the darkest nights and deepest world's mysteries to find out if it is only legends or facts in our world around us. Host Kris Allen is not only host of Monster Theatre, he is also a known worldwide recording artist and professional Bigfoot researcher, with many live encounters. Join Kris and explore both the paranormal and the cryptozoology realms of Earth. Tonight, Kris Allen's Monster Theatre will journey to the dark side and beyond. Are you ready? Strap in and hold on tight. It's showtime, if you dare.
Take your breath climbing up a steep hillside like this. So I'm trying to get to the top of the mountain up there. There's an old logging road up there, and from there I'm hoping I can find some tracks that I found a few years ago. They've been coming down into my yard, the Bigfoot tracks. There is a difference in a Bigfoot track and a bear track, by the way. If it's in good mud, you'll see the claws if it's bare. And a bear will take its hind leg and step into its front track and look like a mid-tarsal ridge that a Bigfoot would have. But if you follow the track long enough, you can clearly see that the difference of the two. There are several very close resemblances when you first appear them. And I found many bear tracks and many Bigfoot tracks up here. And I've been following them for several decades. I've watched the tracks go from smaller and gradually larger and larger, where I know it's a pot of them, to where they've grown from juvenile large. I had a friend of mine up here one time who used to always joke and call me Bigfoot as my name, and I took her on a Honda 500 Foreman up here, and one of them ran right across the road in front of us. In 2 strides it was across the entire logging road up here. And it went over a very steep embankment, way steeper than this mountain. You'd have to have a rappelling rope to get up and down it. She was so scared she peed on herself. That's pretty scared. I had a Canon T5i camera around my neck, turned on. All I had to do was just grab it and snap. There's no time to even do that. So I stopped the four-wheeler, jumped off, went towards the ledge to take a picture. She's screaming, yelling, "What are you doing?" And I told her, I'm trying to get a picture of this thing. And she was so scared that we got on the four-wheeler and we left. But it was an orangutan orange. And this is just right across the mountain from Kanawha State Forest. The trails that I was filming a little while ago was at Dunlap Hollow in Kanawha State Forest. I'm now on the other side of the mountain trying to make it to a logging road. So let's make it to the top of this mountain. Let me catch my breath. It's getting dark. It should be dark here shortly. And I have my bearings out so you don't get lost out here in the woods at nighttime. I marked a leaf over here with some water on it. No, I'm kidding with you. I have a pretty good idea where I'm at. So let's go find these tracks. Maybe we'll have some luck. Whew. What a climb. I made it to the first logging road. And you can see the deer tracks that are fresh. The roads are very saturated, which is what I was hoping for. A lot of briars coming up here. If it's hard for you to hear me, I'm sorry. I have to whisper because I don't want to be so noticed. I like to catch wildlife. Wild. This logging road, I'll point my laser. It goes on around this way. But up there is a better logging road, more rigid and primitive, and it goes all the way around for miles. Years ago I found a little nest, a little pouch, like a purse, like a bird nest with a handle on it, very intricately woven out of small vines, and it was hanging on a blackberry bush. Now, there are a lot of blueberries and blackberries up here. And apparently whoever made the nest or whatever made the little purse, pouch, whatever you want to call it, was collecting berries. It's too early in the year for bears, of course. It's still winter time. This is just February. I found a lot of tracks up here on the road before that lead down the mountain and all the way back to my house. So, I got plenty of rechargeable batteries with me, fully charged, several flashlights. So, here shortly I'm going to set my camera on low light mode so you can see me better. And we're going to take this ridge around. I'm accompanied by Emily. She's following me to kind of help keep me alert. There's a lot of coyote up here. I'm not up here to hunt any animal other than just to visibly see it and record it. If an animal did come after me or my dog, of course I will defend ourselves. The best way to defend myself up here, I brought some of my home meals, some home cooking, and I'll throw it out and it'll probably eat it and it'll kill it or make its stomach really sick. Not joking. 3.5 watt laser in the eyes would do the most damage. Can't really say bear spray is that effective. I mean, it helps, but I pack a number of ways to defend myself. One is I can run pretty fast off a mountain, and I can leave a trail behind me it might slip on. As with most animals, including humans, we tend to walk around in the grassy areas. So you look for grass that's trampled over, like that right there is trampled over. Something's definitely walked over the grass and walked around. I can see why. Oh, a bunch of little tadpole eggs right there. Pass. Well walked around. Doesn't look like I'm going to get a track in the grass because the grass is a great way to cover up any tracks. I could walk on, I could stomp on this grass, and you never see my footprint. And I weigh 200 pounds. A lot of briars to get up there. I'm just trying to find the shortest way to get all the way up there. That mountain over there, on the other side, is Kanawha State Forest. Yes, this laser is touching those trees. It actually goes 95 miles into space if you shine it up into the air. So 3.5 watt blue laser. Well, I'm going to save my battery till I find something worth filming and stop talking so I don't spook anything off. And I need to set it on night mode anyways. All kinds of things can sit here in the woods and listen to us. We'd never know they're here. I was in Cedars of Lebanon with my dogs in Tennessee. I was less than 8 feet away from a coyote standing perfectly still on the edge of the trail in the weeds, just watching us. I had a small female pit bull walked right in front of it, didn't even notice it was there. Once it seen that I knew it was there, it took off and did a 180 and was vanished into the woods so quietly. Actually, that smack you heard was a branch smacking my leg. By the way, if you have an encounter and you live close to the Charleston area and you'd like to tell me about it, email me at chris@krisallen.com. And if you can convince me what you saw, I might just pay a visit to you and we'll go out in the woods looking. If you're a hoaxer, don't waste your time because I'm a professional at this and I'll know right off the bat. And not only that, it's a wonder more people aren't shot and killed by people playing tricks on people. Not a good idea, folks. Unless you're obviously making a funny video, which I do that too. But you know when there's a funny video like Jacqueline's beef jerky. I hope none of you take that serious and think that's a real Bigfoot, but you never know today. Alright, I'm going to sign off for a few moments. So this looks on night mode. My idea is to get to that mill over there on top of the mountain. I have to follow this ridge. Actually, I need to get up there to a logging road that's above this logging road. These mountains are steep and unforgiving, especially in the slick mud. There's a lot of briars up here too. I mean, I'm surrounded in briars. I don't know if you can see them here in night mode or not, but those are briars all around me. And they are very sharp. Take out my regular flashlight. That's just too many briars right through here. Try to find another spot I can get to. Here we go. You can see down here in the grass, it goes around these deep puddles of water. Now, anytime there's a current, you'll never see frog eggs in them. But you can see where everything walks. That's a good size step right there, whatever that was. Doesn't mean it wasn't human. Doesn't mean it wasn't bear. I'm not out to see what that is because it's not a good track. But everything walks around the mud. Except for a dog. Or crazy Bigfoot researchers. That knoll I'm trying to make it to is about a mile away. It doesn't look that far by a camera. I still have that much further to go up to the top up there. A while ago we thought we heard either a deer or a bear, could have been a coyote, just right up from us, and it stopped and we stopped, so I guess that's just one of those things you're never going to know what it is until it lunges out on you. And what a lot of people are not aware of, black bear are very sneaky, and this area is full of black bear. Black bear, I tracked a black bear down one time, 4.5 miles, and it came up onto a group of deer. The deer scattered 360. A fawn ran into the edge of the water, and it killed the fawn and drug it to the edge of the woods and devoured it. I followed it for miles. I seen where it tore up logs. I seen where it used the restroom. I seen where it dug its claws into the sand before it took off its run. Black bear are very sneaky, and to be such a large animal, not a human on earth that could outrun it. Maybe I can get my dog behind me. It's probably when you take a dog in the woods, they like to walk in front of you, and it stirs up the ground. Come here, man. Me, I got my waterproof Wolverines on. I'll find the shortest track right through it. As you can see, this overgrowth is very, very thick. A lot of water, a lot of mud. One good thing about this time of year, there's no mosquitoes, there's no ticks. Nothing but crazy people out here. I'm probably the only crazy one out here. Something up there walking. I've been sitting up here on this gas mine road, or logging road. Oh, that's why you'll hear it up there. Looks like it's a deer. Deers don't follow you. when you're walking as many miles as I've gone tonight, the deer will usually stay the opposite direction. A predator follows you. We have mountain lion, bobcat, some wolf actually still here. There are jaguar, very rare, but 100 years ago there used to be a lot of jaguar throughout the entire United States. I remember years ago I seen this girl sitting in an Appalachian cabin with her feet up on some dead jaguars that had been hunted. They've nearly been hunted out of extinction, but they're known as elusive cat. When you hear people calling a black panther, most of the time what they're seeing is a jaguar. Puma, mountain lion, that's the same cat. I wouldn't want to run into one. I've ran into them many times before. And they're also said to be extinct by one of the foremost authorities in a book. But I've seen countless of them. They're not anywhere near extinct. They might be rare, but they're not extinct. And when you have a chicken farm, you most likely will see more than the average person. And if you're a couch potato and you don't get out in the woods, that you're going to see unless you're driving down a road. There are black bear. There are ex-wives and Bigfoot up here that are just as dangerous. Okay, well, maybe not as many Bigfoots, but there might be more ex-wives up here. But they do both exist up here. And I don't trust either one of them. I haven't found very many tracks at all, which is really bizarre on the lower trail. That doesn't mean that they're not here, it just means that we may not have crossed paths. Sit out here for about the last 15 minutes just being very quiet. When I start moving, it moves. When I'm walking, it moves. I've had a mama mountain lion and her 2 cubs at Sherwood Lake with several people that were with me. My oldest son, Christopher Hammond, and my ex-wife, and they heard it walking just like this. I didn't, so I said, all right, on the count of 3 we'll stop, and it didn't. We shined our flashlights probably 50 feet away from us, and there she was with her ears laid back, getting ready to pounce. So I took a handful of rocks, threw at it, and chased it into the woods, not understanding the cat at the time. That was stupid of me to do that. They're like a house cat. They'll run behind a tree, and they'll watch you. And when you turn your back to walk back out of the woods, they come closer and closer until you're their meal. I was lucky that day. And I always give words of advice, and here I am in the woods. Don't go in the woods by yourself unless you could avoid it. And if you do go in the woods by yourself, let people know in detail, people you trust, where you're at, where they can find your body if something happened to you. I'm Kris Allen, and you're watching Kris Allen's Worldwide Monster Theater. If you know somebody that would like to go out on a research with me, or somebody that we could use as bait that would like to be eaten, personally email me. We'll get in touch with you. Okay, I'm not going to grab the camera since I got my headlight on. How do you know how to find your way back? Well, it's simple. For some, you backtrack. But I like to give a lot of tips. If you're in the snow and it's snowing, your tracks are going to get covered up pretty rapidly. If it's raining, your tracks get covered up pretty fast by the mud. You can leave little strings tied to the trees. There's a number of ways. snap branches on trees on the way out. Leave a stack of rocks. Remember everything. And then you backtrack the best of your ability if you don't have a compass. These are the weeds that told you something was the size of those tracks. These are the weeds that told you that something had walked through. Doesn't mean it wasn't human. Same words I used a while ago. Way down there is the highway. I hear cars. There's all kinds of signs if you look. That's the way I came a while ago. However, I'm going to go a little further this way just to see what I might find before I call it the day. You might go out hundreds of times, maybe one time. You'll never see a track, a trail, nothing. Don't be discouraged. Enjoy it for the adventure. Life is a giant adventure. And I always say it's better to get out into adventure than it is just to watch it on TV. And it's certainly much healthier. So if you love the woods, the wide open spaces, go out and have some fun. It's dangerous though. I mean, protect yourself. Always try to hike with somebody. And if you can't find somebody to hike, use your keen wits. As much knowledge as you can find. And always bring some form of protection with you. Bear spray does help. You can buy bear spray in a really large can. Take it with you because you never know when you're going to run into coyotes or what you might run into. Alright, we're going to track back home now and see what I can find on the way back. You never know. This is wild, wonderful West Virginia, and it is wild and it is wonderful. As you can see, you have ambush sites all around you here. My laser back on. That mountain way over there. I'm touching it actually. Well, there you have it, folks. I made it back. Followed the creek down. That's me right over there. Safe and sound. Unfortunately, I didn't really find any tracks tonight, but there's always another night. My name is Kris Allen. You're watching Monster Theater. Kris Allen's Worldwide Monster Theater. Peace and God bless.